Hello, my name is Kainton the Genius, and today we want to start solving statistics problem. And remember, the best way to learn is to solve problems. So what we see here is a typical problem that we are going to solve. Remember, we've gone through these parametric tests and we need to use quiz. So to get it clear, we need to solve problems. So let's take this problem and take the steps to solve them. To solve it, it says the length of a certain product is 100 millimeters. We know that the fluctuation in the length is a normal distribution around the prescribed value. Consider the following 10 element pattern: 983, 1002 all the way to 986. The question now says, is the null hypothesis acceptable that the expected length of the length is 1000? Alright, step 1, we need to choose a test to use. Okay, so if you look at this question, you see that we have just one sample there, and also we have no standard deviation or variance is given. In this case, we are going to use the t-test. I think we've discussed this in the previous presentation. So let's now go to step 1. Step 1, we need to set up the null and the alternate hypothesis. So I'm going to write down the steps and also do them. So step 1 is to set up the null and alternate hypothesis. So this is the step 1. Sorry about my writing. And how do you do that? You simply say H0 is the null hypothesis, which says that the null hypothesis means what has been believed that you want to prove or you want to test. So it says that the initial length is 1000. That is the null hypothesis. So it's 1000. Now the alternate hypothesis is simply something that the null hypothesis is not. It's always opposite of the null hypothesis. So the alternate hypothesis says that the average length is not 1000. So this is how to represent it. So this is your first step: set up the null and the alternate hypothesis. Having done this, we now proceed to the second step. The second step, that is step 2. Step 2 will be calculate the mean and standard deviation. Calculate the mean and standard deviation. Okay, so of course you know the mean, you use the formula for the mean. Let's call the mean xn. The formula will be sigma of x over n. Okay, sigma of x over n from where I equal to 1 to n. Okay, so the standard deviation will be SD squared is equal to, formula for standard deviation is equal to 1 over n minus 1. Okay, you now take the sigma, also from I is equal to 1 to n. You now say x minus x bar. Okay, so alright, so now these formulas, they are I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, I'll tell you how to get around this, but just take note of this formula. And we now move to step 3. Step 3, calculate t, which we calculate using the formula to be xn minus, remember we have this value to be the initial value of the mean, all over SD, representing the standard deviation, times, let me put it, times root n. So this is the formula to calculate t. So the next step is now to step 4, compare value of t with tabulated value. Good. So if you calculate t, it gives you a value, then you compare it with a tabulated value from the table. So step 5, if the value of t that you calculated, is greater than the t that is tabulated, okay, which is sometimes is represented to be t 0.05. We'll talk about this later. Then reject the null hypothesis. Alright, so this is the 5 steps to solve this problem. Now let me just give you some hints so that you'll be able to try it. If you are given a problem like this, okay, let me just say you need to form a table like this. You have your values, which is actually 983.1002. You also need to form the squared, okay? So the reason you need the squared is you need to use it to calculate the standard deviation. And remember that what you are calculating using this formula is the square of the standard deviation. And after, you take the total of this, right? So in my case, along the line, there are a number of things you need to write. N is equal to what? N is equal to 10. Then we have xn. Xn is equal to 994. Xn is the mean, okay, which is the mean, xn bar, okay. So SD, I calculated it to be, for this particular problem, to be 8.055, okay, and then U0 is given and the question is given to be 1000. Alright, so at this point you can calculate the value of t here. So these are the parameters you need to get. These 4 parameters, you need to get it down and then get the value of t. So Me, I got the value of t. The t I calculated to be 2.356, and t from the table I got it to be 2.262. In the next presentation, I'm going to teach you how to find this t in the table, okay? That'll be in the next presentation. So, or maybe I can open the file and show you. So at this point, since the calculated value of t is greater than the tabulated value of t, we need to reject the null hypothesis. It means that the length is not 1000. It means that this average length is not 1000. We are not accepting this hypothesis. So since this calculated value is greater, we reject the null hypothesis. So let me get to the table and show you how we got this 2.262. So that I'm going to quickly do. Let me get to where I saved this file. I can remember. Okay, I should have in somewhere. Okay, I think I should have it somewhere. Let's say, no, not here. Actually, you can download this table from. Okay, I have it now. So, oh no, it's not this one. Alright, maybe in the next presentation I'm going to show you how to calculate or how to check the table to actually know which the value of t tabulated or t critical. Sometimes it's tabulated, sometimes we call it critical value. So this is the steps on how to solve this problem. Remember to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you have any question, if you have your homework you want me to help you to do, just send me an email or just leave a comment for me and tell me what you want me to explain clearly to you. I remain kind and the genius. Remember to like this video, share it around with your friends if it will help them in some way, and I would like to thank you for viewing.